Hi guys, Christy here with Little Roots Ranch, and today we're going to be talking about why I grow pelleted carrot seed, which is what these are. See all the pellets? And so we're going to go out to the garden and I'm going to tell you about the reasons why I grow pelleted carrot seed and why I would never go back. So here is one of my carrot beds here and a random red Russian kale. The tops look a little rough because we had that week of below freezing temperatures, but as you can see here, the carrots are just fine. And so this is another bed. For my early carrots, I like to grow them in raised beds, so that way they just drain easier and all that stuff. But today we're talking about pelleted carrot seeds. Now I buy most of my seeds from Johnny's, and pelleted carrot seeds are something that I could never ever do without. What I love about these seeds and their main selling point is, as you can see, I think you can see, they've got this white coating. It's like a clay inert material, and it is NOP certified or compliant, meaning that it's for use in organic production. But as you can see, the seeds are uniform and easy to see. And the best part, oops, well, I don't know if you can see it from there, but I can see wherever I've put a seed, like if I drop one. Now, if you've planted carrots, you know that it's like taking particles of dust and trying to plant them. And of course, they're the same color as the soil. And for me, that's really difficult. Carrots are also really sensitive because you want to space them an inch apart. But with carrots, they don't do well. Like if they're double planted or if you grab two seeds on accident or drop another one, they won't grow to their perfect size if they're competing for space, which is why also with the pelleted seed, it's really, really important. My favorite though is that it's easy to see. And this year we're hoping to buy a mechanical seeder, meaning I can just push it along and it'll seed them, but I'm still small enough to where I do little holes in the ground. And so when you're doing such a large amount of carrots like that, it's really easy. I used to use like a rock where I would try and mark where I was at, and I've tried to do like putting them in cornstarch and all that stuff, and none of that worked. I still spent my time thinning, which I hate thinning because I'm the worst at it. And then if I don't thin them, then my carrots don't grow to their full potential and it just doesn't work out. But with pelleted seeds, I can just go ahead and drop them in the hole. Oops, I dropped one. But I dropped it, but I can see where it's at because I can see the pelleted seed, and that's my main thing. And I honestly will never go back. Like, I would refuse to grow carrots without pelleted seed. And that's something that I literally cannot say enough. When I found pelleted seed, it was a game changer for me. I don't know if all the seed houses offer pelleted seeds or not, but I know that Johnny's does, and I only buy their seed for some of the lettuces, the carrots for sure, the parsnips. I think that's everything. I think the celery seeds might. These carrots are Mokum carrots, and I think this is about 5,000 of them or so. And it comes in the nice little container and all that stuff, but it's really convenient. Now, there are different types of coating for seeds. Like I said, these are NOP compliant, which means they're organic and used, you know, they meet all the requirements of the USDA organic something. And so that's great because I grow organically, though I'm not certified. But one thing to note is that there are different kinds of coatings that they can put on seeds, and depending on how you grow, you might not want to use them or whatever. But these are just regular old coating, coating, like a clay kind of stuff, and it's just used to make them easy to see, easy to handle, and easier for like if you're using a seeder or something like that, which I really like. Now, it's not all butterflies and rainbows because there are a couple of drawbacks to pelleted seeds. And really the only one is that the amount of time you can have the seed for that it's viable is reduced. What they do is it's a pre-treatment where they soak the seeds to where they're about to burst, and then but don't germinate, whatever, and then they coat them in the material and have them dry. But so that means that the seed is only really good for a year. So if you're buying pelleted seeds, you want to use all the seeds within 1 year. They're not going to be like other seeds where you can have them go on a little bit longer. I find with parsnip seeds especially, I don't keep them around for longer than a year anyways. My germination rate starts going down, but that is something to know. So if you're buying 5,000 carrot seeds, but you only plan to use 100, you should buy a smaller package, because they do have the ability to not keep as long. Another thing is that with the coating, you want to make sure, as a pre-frame with carrots, you need to do this anyways, but you need to make sure that it stays consistently moist, not wet, not standing in water or anything, but consistently moist, so that the coating sheds off from the seed in a uniform way, as opposed to like if only half of it does. So you don't want the soil to dry out. But the good news is, if you're doing carrots, a lot of people struggle with carrots. And the reason why is that the germination period can take up to like 21 days, and you have to keep your soil or your compost or whatever medium you're growing in completely moist for that entire time. And so sometimes that's difficult. It depends more of where you are. Here in the Pacific Northwest, Western Washington, the rain is very generous to us, and so I don't always have that problem. But in the middle of summer, when I'm planting my overwintering crop, like the one I had just showed you, that's going to be ready first thing in spring, then I have to come out here with a hose and make sure that I'm keeping it nice and moist, so that way they don't dry out. So you have to do that with carrots anyways, but you also have to do it with the pelleted seeds. So again, just to recap, the pelleted seeds are excellent because you can see that they will change your life, I promise you. You can see them, you can handle them, you can tell if you dropped one, you can have better accuracy in your planting, because you can see, even if I did the whole thing and I looked in, I can see each hole if I've got the seeds, and then I just go by and kind of just put the dirt in. Usually I'll use a shovel, or I'm sorry, a rake if I'm doing a larger term or whatever. But they're easy to see, all that stuff. The downsides is that you want to use them within a year, and you want to make sure, which you would do with carrots anyways, but you want to make sure that they stay consistently moist, so that way they don't cause any problems. Like I said, for me, using pelleted seed is a game changer. I don't know if you're only planting a couple carrots every year, or like maybe 10 or a small, like maybe you're not a carrot lover, then the regular seeds are probably fine. But if you're, for me, I plant like, thousands of carrots, and so having to deal with tiny little seeds where I can't see where I'm at or what I'm doing, I definitely love the white pelleted seeds. Game changer. So that's my advice. If you have any questions or concerns or anything, drop them down below. If you use pelleted seed, let me know, drop it down below. And just as another thing, and I know I mentioned this earlier, there are different types. There are treated seeds that are called coated seeds. That's a little bit different. They're different. There are, Johnny's has, most of their pelleted seeds are NOP compliant, which means they're with organic practices, but they do have some that are not. And I don't know about the other seed houses or whatever. So just because it has a coating, a pelleting, whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's organic. So you want to look into that. But thank you. Have a great day. Oh, my knees.